going back to the politics, it's interesting this fall. Cities tour always seems to fall during some election that's upcoming, and I try to really think about civility in the workplace and what it means right now. Because, right, what we see on the news and every day, it's impossible for it to not impact us. It's virtually impossible to see the harsh language that's being used and for it to not resonate with us. And in a lot of ways, I think that it does transcend into our day-to-day. And we're in the middle of the great resignation, right? We've got people leaving workplaces because they're not feeling appreciated and they're not feeling valued. And servant leadership is a way to combat that. It's a way to bring a different environment. Servant leadership helps you as a leader make those around you feel appreciated and valued. And if we did that in our workplaces, and if we did that at home, and if kids at middle school were able to do that with each other, I don't know, is this a situation where we need to lead in a different direction? From what we see on TV, absolutely, it's challenging. There was one piece that I read that really resonated with me that had 3 really great, kind of tangible ways to lead with servant leadership to create a more civil workplace. The first was to aspire to lead with love. I love that with servant leadership, you can talk about love and it's okay to talk about love, but the definition of this one helps people to understand that, because sometimes when we use that word and we talk about leadership, it can be a little bit scary for some people, and it doesn't feel right for some people. And in this definition, it was commit to doing good despite how you feel or how someone treats you. You're still going to take the high road. You're still going to treat others well, despite how they make you feel and despite what you feel about their values. Think of how that would look in a debate situation if we were approaching in that way. The other is practice active empathy. I think that's beautiful, and we talk about empathy a lot, but sometimes it's a tough thing to pinpoint and to know what that means. In this definition, it's having compassion for everyone and seeking out win-win situations. So understanding, not just putting yourself in someone else's shoes, but understanding their perspective so that you can create win-win situations. I think that the power that could bring into workplaces is pretty monumental. And then aim to lead with the right perspective, being willing to create a working environment that is peaceful despite differences in opinions. How many of you have been at meetings last week where there were differences of opinions? Were all those differences of opinions valued? Were they all heard? Were they all shared? Did we ask for them so that we could come to these? I think it ties very closely on the empathy side. But to me, these felt like very tangible ways and things, in a nuts and bolts discussion about servant leadership. And I know I see a lot of very familiar faces that you're long on your journey with this, but I also see some new faces, and I know that some people struggle when they hear about servant leadership. So I hope those pieces